Thanks, Claire. Now, for many people, the period before going away on holiday can be very stressful. But for pets, the holiday itself can be a time of stress. Being left in a kennel or cattery means a complete new temporary home with new people, new animals and feeding routines. Joining us now with some tips to make the holiday the least stressful for you is Pete Wedderburn. Good morning to you, Pete. How are you? And Kiko.
Hey, Kiko. Say hello to Alan.
Kiko. Hi, Kiko. Kiko's here. So it is a terribly stressful time for pets when they have to be put in somewhere else when you try and go on your holidays. And it's a stressful time for owners as well. As I was just saying to you before we came on air, a friend of mine in London, like part of the time he won't go on holidays because of the whole thing about trying to get somewhere for his dog. Yeah,
there was a survey recently showed that something like 11% of people just don't go on holiday because they're so anxious about what will happen with their pet, which is a real shame. And about a third of people, 33% of people, change their holiday plans to suit what their pet needs. So it's definitely quite a big issue for a lot of people.
So, like, reasons for holiday stress then in pets, what are they? Is it because of the routine changes, obviously?
Well, I think the main thing is that a pet is used to kind of tootling around their own home, you know, with their own basket, their own people, their own food bowl, going on usual walks every day. They have a routine which they love, and suddenly that is all changed. They go to an entirely new environment. Maybe they're locked into a sort of cage type area and they're kind of going, what's going on with this? Kennels vary massively, by the way, so some of them are great for dogs and they actually have a holiday really, really enjoy. So it does vary, but at the worst it's a really big stress for a dog, and even at the best it's a big change for them. And so for these reasons people should take some small steps, I think, to stop that from being so stressful.
But like when you're saying that the difference in kennels, then how do you know? Do you go and look at them? Do you just try and suss them out beforehand?
Well, there is a national organisation, the Irish Kennel and Cattery Organisation, and that they are kennels who actually comply with a certain standard of facilities and routines. That helps. You should choose a kennel, I think, most often is best by word of mouth. If you have a friend who really highly recommends it, that's worthwhile following.
Whose dog or cat has been somewhere and they sort of said, look, this is great.
It worked really well, yeah. I think also you should do a trial weekend, ideally, you know, for just let your dog go or your cat go for a weekend and make sure they're happy enough when they get back. But it's too late now. Like for this summer, the best kennels are booked up way in advance. Wow. So this is another thing that people get stuck with. They leave it too late, and next thing they've only got choice, which is very limited.
And there's the cost of it as well.
It can be very expensive. I mean,
it's nearly doubling the price of your holiday sometimes.
I mean, you know, if you want your pet looked after well, you know, you're demanding a high standard of facilities, and that's got to be paid for. So, you know, if you want it done really well, you're not going to get it for cheap.
Now, you have some tips here on to lessen the stress for your pet.
Yes.
As you said, arrange short visits to the kennel or cattery before your holidays, so they at least have an idea of what they're going in.
Yes.
Provide the bedding, food and toys
from
that
home.
They're used to.
Yes, exactly.
That they're surrounded by all the time.
And it's not just the appearance and the texture of them, it's also the smell of them. That's really important to dogs.
And you sort of say provide some of your own clothing, like a jumper or something,
your body,
your smell that they're used to.
Dogs live in a world. Smells are really important, and so your clothing is important to them.
And then kennel pets with animal friends?
Well, yeah, if you have two dogs, you kennel them together. That's
obviously. Yeah. And then consider pet sitting as an alternative. Now, we're going to talk about this now because there's a number of websites that you're recommending that are, it's different, because I think people, and I know friends of mine as well, when they go away, they get people to come into their home.
Well, that's classic pet sitting, and that's been around for a long time. And so there's a website for irishpetsitters.com where basically you look at the list of people who are prepared to come to your home and look after your dogs and your cats and water your plants and provide the security of having somebody living in your home. That service has been there for a while, and you pay a sum of money for that, and that can, if you get the right pet sitter, that can work really, really well.
But there's some we want to talk about now. Howsmydog.com?
This is a new idea that's taken off massively in the States. It's almost, it's supplanting the traditional boarding kennel in some ways. And the idea is that instead of your pet going into a boarding kennel, your pet goes into somebody else's home. So basically, a dog lover says, I quite like to mind somebody's pet in my home, and so they go through a screening process on the website, and they have to have things like a first aid qualification in animal first aid, and they're checked to be genuinely responsible, reliable people for minding pets, then they put their profile up on the website. And then they wait for business to come in, if you like. So it's a good way for people like maybe vet students or people who love animals
to make an extra
few bob in the summer. And then what you do as an owner, you put your location in and the dates you want to go away, and then you get linked up with these people. And so you get given a list of potential pet sitters, and you then there's a business transaction. The pet sitter gets a daily rate from you, and you give 3%, I think, to the website.
Now, we have a number of them and we put them on our website, but there's just one I just want to quickly talk about, trusthousesitters.com.
Trustedhousesitters.com is a
And you're doing
one.
this and you're going to Greece because it's people are asking you to literally go and mind their home, and it could be, and you're going to Greece for 3 weeks to mind somebody's home in the beautiful island of Crete, and what you have to do is walk their dogs and feed their cats.
Yes, they've got 3 lovely dogs and a bunch of cats living outside. So I've got to walk their dogs every morning and feed their cats, and they give me their house and their car
in Crete.
to use. In Crete. I mean,
for 3 weeks?
Yes, exactly.
For free?
For free, yeah. So that's another great website, and that's taking off as well. So if you live in an area, let's say, where people from other countries might want to come on holidays, and lots of Irelanders like that, then you can put your details up online, and you'll then get sent a list of people who would like to come to Ireland.
And of course, you could build up sort of a thing with people where you're going to their houses and they come to you, and you could do it yearly because you trust each other. Like, you want to go to Spain every year, and they want to come to Ireland.
But it's not necessarily a swap, and that's one of the great things about it. Like, nobody's going to come to my home. You know, it doesn't work like that. Basically, I just go and... It's a one-way thing.
Yeah.
I think all of these things, they're using the internet in the best possible way, because people can put up online reviews of how you got on. You know, if you mind somebody's pet and they love you, they put up a review for you, so people build up trust in you that way, do you know?
Great. Well, enjoy Crete.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Pete.